All right, today we are diving deep into a technology that is, and I'm not exaggerating, completely changing our world. We're talking about gene manipulation, basically how scientists are learning to edit the code of life itself.
So let's just start with this massive question. What if we could actually rewrite the fundamental instructions that make you, you? You know, the stuff that determines everything from your eye color to your chances of getting a certain disease. It sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? Well, it's not. This is happening right now.
Okay, so to really get how we can edit this code, we first need to do a quick refresh on what the code actually is.
So, at the very heart of all this is the gene. The best way to think about it is like a single recipe in this enormous cookbook that is your DNA. And each one of these recipes has the instructions for making a protein. These proteins are the little workers that build and run your body, controlling literally everything.
Following that analogy, gene manipulation is like becoming the master chef of that cookbook. Scientists can now go into the DNA and just tweak the recipes. They can add a new step, take one out, or change an ingredient. It's all about intentionally altering a gene to change how it works.
So how on earth do you perform surgery on something as tiny as a strand of DNA? Well, it turns out the answer lies in some pretty incredible biological tools.
The whole process really boils down to three main steps. First, you have to identify the exact gene you want to work on. Then, you use these amazing enzymes that act like a pair of molecular scissors to cut the DNA right at that specific spot. And finally, the cell's own natural repair system jumps in, and scientists can guide that repair to either fix a mistake or even slot in a whole new piece of genetic code.
Now, the real game changer here, the technology that has made all of this so much more possible, is called CRISPR. You can think of it like a GPS for your DNA. A special guide molecule is programmed to find one very, very specific location in the entire genome. And once it locks on, an enzyme, those molecular scissors, makes the cut. It's this unbelievable precision that makes CRISPR so powerful. It's truly revolutionary.
So what does all this really mean for us in the real world? This isn't just some cool lab experiment. Gene manipulation has some absolutely staggering potential to change our lives.
Just think about medicine. For genetic diseases that are caused by just one faulty gene, like sickle cell anemia, this technology could mean a genuine cure. We're not talking about just managing symptoms for a person's entire life. We're talking about correcting the error right at the source. It's incredible.
And it's not just medicine. This tech is also completely shaking up agriculture. By editing the genes of plants, scientists can create crops that are naturally tougher. They can resist pests or survive a drought. This has massive implications for feeding a growing planet.
And beyond all these practical things, gene editing is an absolutely essential tool for pure discovery. By being able to precisely switch genes on or off, researchers can finally figure out what they do. It's helping us decode the unbelievably complex instruction manual of life itself.
But, and this is a big but, with this kind of incredible power comes some profound responsibilities. You just can't talk about editing genes without getting into the really serious ethical questions it brings up.
See, the real challenge is balancing the amazing potential with the potential peril. On one hand, you have the promise of curing devastating diseases and feeding the world. But on the other hand, you have some very serious questions. What are the long-term effects we don't know about yet? Who gets to use these technologies? Is it fair? And what happens if there are unintended consequences?
And that right there is the core dilemma. We're really standing at a crossroads. The science is moving forward at a breathtaking speed. And the biggest challenge we face is making sure our wisdom and our ethics can keep up with our own power to innovate.
Which leaves us with this final massive question. We now have the tools to reshape not just our own species, but our entire planet. So the question is no longer just can we do this? The real question is should we? And maybe the hardest question of all, who gets to decide where we draw the line?